They say history repeats itself.
Mass shootings here in this country, and of course we are all mindful tonight of where we stand. We are here in Texas tonight where 29 people have lost their lives in just the last month alone.
Well, at least 21 people died in the school shooting last week alone.
Vice President Biden, I do want to direct this to you because we all remember Sandy Hook. 26 people died in that school, 20 of them children. Those first graders would be in 8th grade today. At the time, there was a groundswell in this country to get something done. President Obama asked you to lead the push for gun control. You have often pointed to your ability to reach across the aisle to get things done. But 4 months after Sandy Hook, a measure to require expanded background checks died on the Senate floor.
And if it was on the Senate floor now, it would die again. And Joe Biden knows it.
If you couldn't get it done after Sandy Hook, why should voters give you another chance?
That's a damn good question, and it's a damn shame the voters did give him another chance.
A year ago this week, standing here with many of you, I instructed the Attorney General to write a regulation that would rein in the proliferation of ghost guns because I was having trouble getting anything passed in the Congress.
I wonder why.
You were having trouble getting it passed in Congress because building your own gun for personal use has always been legal.
You dumbass.
Hell, it says it right on the ATF's website.
Something your ass should know a little something about, dumbass.
And I quote, "No, a license is not required to make a firearm solely for personal use."
Did you hear that, Joe Biden? Did you hear that, Joe Biden, with your dumbass?
However, a license is required to manufacture firearms for sale or distribution.
Somebody tell Joe Biden, dumbass, he need to read the ATF policies because evidently he don't know them.
The law prohibits a person from assembling a non-sporting semi-automatic rifle or shotgun from 10 or more imported parts, as well as firearms that cannot be detected by metal detectors or x-ray machines.
And a weapon that can't be detected by an x-ray machine really is a damn assault weapon, if it's such definition of an assault weapon. I wonder, is it an assault knife or an assault bat or an assault crowbar?
In addition, the making of an NFA firearm requires a tax payment and advance approval by ATF.
The people that specialize in firearms. Next! Joe Biden, dumbass, should know better.
Because they realize what I've been saying, and we've all been saying, is correct. Over 90% of the American people think we have to get assault weapons off the street, period. And we have to get buybacks and get them out of their basements.
Get guns out of basements? That means your ass is going for Americans' guns. With your lying ass talking about you ain't going for American guns. What the hell is going in the basement mean? What in the hell do going in the basement mean?
You did bring up assault weapons here, and many of you on this stage have talked about executive orders. Senator Harris, you have said that you would take executive action on guns within your first 100 days, including banning imports of AR-15 assault weapons.
That's right.
President Obama, after Sandy Hook, more than 23 executive actions, and yet here we all are today.
With another mass shooting that has nothing to do with Republicans. But fake news, and the Democrats gonna say it's all about the Republicans.
Is why don't Democrats declare a culture war on Republicans on guns?
I've heard a whole lot of people in here talking tonight about this group and that group, and domestic violence and blacks, these minorities and that minority. What I want to know is, when are you all going to start standing up for the majority?
Why not go on offense on these cultural issues?
And here's who the majority is. I'm the majority. I'm a law-abiding citizen who's never shot anybody, never committed a serious crime, never committed a felony.
Why not get on offense on cultural issues when you have public opinion behind your side, not theirs?
I've never done anything like that. But it seems like every time we have one of these shootings, nobody wants to put the blame where it goes, which is at the shooter's feet. You want to put it at my feet.
And turn law-abiding citizens into criminals. Ain't that a bitch? The Democrats so low down, they even got Parkland shooter parents to come on here and cry about what's happening with the Republicans and gun control.
But gosh, Ari, I have had it. I really have. For 4+ years since my daughter died, I've been gentle with these people. I've been debating these people. I've been arguing over what this all means in terms of the Second Amendment. While since my daughter died, we've gone from 300 million weapons on the streets to 400 millions, plus ghost guns.
So that means it's about 500 million guns on the street, but who's counting? Next! This nigga say Mitch McConnell ain't shit. It's his fault too.
Our country is sickened and outraged by the senseless evil that struck Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, only yesterday.
He probably put out the exact same statement after my daughter was killed. Mitch McConnell is the common theme in doing nothing on gun violence.
According to early reports from authorities, it appears that a deranged young man tried to murder his own grandmother.
There is no person more significant in the failure to do anything in the Senate than Mitch McConnell.
Then crashed his car and then ran into an elementary school and began killing.
And so his statement, he can shove it up his you-know-what, it means nothing.
At least 19 young children and 2 teachers were murdered for no apparent reason at all.
Don't put out a statement, Mitch. Walk into Senator Murphy's office and tell him you want to be the one to change this today.
How about no? Next! Because everybody don't agree with your ass, even though you had something tragic happen in your life, but other Americans do not agree with what the hell you are saying.
You want to turn around and restrict my right, constitutional right that's spelled out in black and white. You want to restrict my right to buy a firearm and protect myself.
From the niggas that actually got ghost guns that you cannot stop.
There are 14 kids dead in an elementary school in Texas right now.
That many kids probably died in Chicago in less than a week. Next! But the Democrats don't want to talk about that because it's happening in their cities.
And yet even here, even after something like this, the political divide over guns is so stark. The governor of Texas and his ally in the Senate, the men who block all attempts to change gun laws, they are here and not unwelcome.
You want to know who ass is unwelcome? Joe Biden ass is unwelcome. Him and his scary ass ghost gun quotes, trying to scare the shit out of people. What in the hell is a ghost gun anyway?
Is this the moment to reform gun laws?
You know, it's easy to go to politics.
Which liberals always do. Politics with emotion.
Senator Cruz, you are responsible.
But thoughts and prayers alone is not enough to prevent future tragedies from happening.
What in the hell did Senator Cruz do? Sell him the gun or sell him the car? Or did he help the nigga hop over the fence? And neither will a background check, because if a nigga want to buy a gun, his ass is going to buy a gun. The liberals have been talking about gun control for the past 20 damn years.
And when we talked about doing effective background checks, it was resisted because the notion was we were going to take your guns away.
Which every Democrat got on the national stage and said they would do.
It's ridiculous. I don't think Rod Serling could come up with a better script. It does not make any sense. The law-abiding citizens of this community and many communities around this country, we're the first ones taxed and the last ones considered and the first ones punished when things like this happens.
And people that tell the truth is the first people that punish when videos like this happen. The truth. You can check my old YouTube page for that. Next! The Democrats try to work the liberals with emotions, to try to work up the liberals to go out and vote and go out and hate conservative and go out and spread hate.
And they stand around and they want to debate. Let me tell you something. Since this is happening in Texas, and I saw Governor Abbott on an earlier segment here, he is responsible.
He is? That means him and Ted Cruz was riding shotgun in the killer's car to go shoot up the damn school. How in the hell is they responsible?
There are 19 sets of parents who are never going to get to kiss their child goodnight again.
And the Democrats say you and Abbott is responsible. Next! That's why they want to take away American guns, because y'all are responsible.
The good guys, why then do you and Hillary want to control and restrict and limit gun manufacturers, gun owners, and the responsible use of guns and ammunition to the rest of us, the good guys, instead of holding the bad guys accountable for their actions?
Because that's what Democrats do. They take away constitutional rights and amendments. Because it's not about freedom.
What are we doing?
When are we going to do something?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm tired. I'm so tired of getting up here and offering condolences to the devastated families that are out there.
Why are you here?
That's the same thing I told my baby mama when I woke up in a zoo drunk and high on drugs that I was given to inside of my weed. It was laced with some kind of date rape drug. I woke up in a monkey zoo with monkey, you know what, on my chest. Next! The Democrats ain't done nothing about guns since Barack Obama been in office.
And Mr. President, if I may, I'd like to use Chicago, your hometown, a city that has some of the strictest gun laws in the nation, a city that for decades and still is under Democratic control, a city that has an outrageous and even embarrassing murder rate as my first example. Why can't we round up these thugs, these drug dealers and gang members, and hold them accountable for their actions?
Because our rights are the ones that are being taken away. That's the reason why I came down here today. Gun show or no gun show, NRA or no NRA. I'm here to stand up for the law-abiding citizens of this community.
Because that means they would have to keep them in jail and not let them out on free bail. Hell, that rhymes. Next! Because broke niggas don't need to pay child support, and good American law-abiding citizens shouldn't have to give up their guns. Next! Because the Democrats are always crying, but they never doing shit about the violence in America.
Or allow the good people in Chicago access to firearms to protect themselves.
And they gotta protect themselves because the police ain't doing it. But I'm glad I live in America. I'm pretty sure people in terrorist countries is talking about that's enough of people strapping bombs to their chests.
But it's important. It's at the heart of the issue.
I get that that's where the media likes to go.
Well, at least liberal media, because they ain't got nowhere else to go. If the liberal media had to cover real stories, the motherfuckers would be homeless.
If not to solve a problem as existential as this.
I'm so tired of I'm tired of the moments of silence. Enough.
Niggas been hollering enough since the 80s.
First of all, the notion that I or Hillary or Democrats or whoever you want to choose are hell-bent on taking away folks' guns is just not true.
Your ass telling the truth is just not true. Next! You are none of your compadres.
This is completely preventable. So let's get to work. And when we get back, if they don't join us, we march right to the ballot box.
Because it's all about the ballot box. It's never about the lives. Next! If it was Barack Obama, ass would have been done something about his own damn state.
And at no point have I ever proposed confiscating guns from responsible gun owners.
Well, liberal reporters from other countries say that's a damn lie. Or is it the damn truth?
No, it's not. It's where many of the people we've talked to here like to go.
How in the fuck you know, nigga? You from Australia.
The public is with us, and parents want us on offense.
How in the fuck you know? You're a Democrat. You don't talk to parents.
But if you propose anything, it is suggested that we're trying to wipe away gun rights and impose tyranny and martial law.
Well, that you do know, because if you take away people's guns, you're going to have to do some damn martial law, and then it's going to be a revolution.
50 senators in Washington are going to hold us hostage.
Hold us hostage? Nigga, have you ever been to a third world country where they really have hostages? I ain't never heard of a hostage in America because of a damn Second Amendment right. They got hostages for real in Iran and Afghanistan.
And look at the Republicans. They go on offense on wildly unpopular issues like taking away a woman's right to choose, and they don't care about the public sentiment. They lean in on that.
Well, look who talking. The spy that's fucking Fang and don't care about baby rights or life.
You realize that 90% of Americans, regardless of political party, want background check, universal background check. 90% of us.
Yeah, but it's true. But it's not the type of universal background check you sons of bitches is talking about.
Instead, we are always apologizing about, well, we're not trying to infringe on the Second Amendment. We're not saying gun control. Why don't we just have gun discipline in this country?
First, you should have baby discipline with saving lives before they're actually born and stop killing them inside of stomachs.
We are being held hostage by 50 senators in Washington who refuse to even put it to a vote, despite what we, the American people, want.
How in the fuck you know what the American people want? You supposed to be a damn coach. When the hell you turn into a politician?
The crazy idea that the most dangerous weapons shouldn't end up in the hands of the most dangerous people. And right now, as a parent of 3 young children, and one of them is just starting to ask questions about these shootings, I find myself in a position where I'm lying to my kids.
I'm pretty sure you did. Did you tell your kids you was fucking Fang?
They won't vote on it because they want to hold on to their own power.
And what do you think the Democrats trying to do with their power? Share it? Next! You stupid son of a bitch.
The proposals from Democrats in the media, inevitably, when some violent psychopath murders people,
a violent psychopath who's able to get a weapon so easily.
Nigga, you can go to the 99-cent store and get a weapon they call kitchen knives and razor blades.
And every parent in America right now is lying to their kids. If you're telling your kid they're going to be safe at their school and everything's going to be okay, it's a lie. And who wants to lie to their kids?
Nigga, you. I'm pretty sure you didn't tell them you was fucking a Chinese spy. Next!
But right now, the truth is, not by a policy defect, but by design of the Republican Party in this country, every kid in every classroom is exposed and vulnerable to a shooting.
Thanks to your ass, every kid in America was exposed to a Chinese spy, probably through TikTok.
And no police officer outside the classroom, as we have seen, is going to protect them. No idea that, more good guys with guns in the community is going to protect them. And no sense of, let's just throw money at mental health is going to protect them.
Damn, I wish you thought the same way about babies.
What's going to protect them is to not allow dangerous people to have access to firearms. What's going to protect them is to not allow assault weapons in our community. And what's going to protect them is to have background checks, violent history checks on every firearm purchase.
Well, first you gotta help the kids by reversing the Roe v. Wade ruling. First, letting kids at least have an opportunity to live.
18-year-old with 2 AR-15s.
If you want to stop violent crime, the proposals the Democrats have, none of them would have stopped this.
I don't think criminals trying to pass a background check before they go buy an illegal firearm from a damn store or off the damn street.
But why does this only happen in your country? I really think that's what many people around the world they cannot fathom. Why only in America? Why is this American exceptionalism so awful?
Nigga, what?
I'm sorry you think American exceptionalism is awful.
Have you ever saw Mexican exceptionalism? They down there having a drug war. You want to talk about guns and murder? Check the Mexican cartel drug war. The Democrats can't stop people from shooting up schools, just like they can't stop people from shooting niggas on the corner or shooting kids in the city of Chicago.
This is by design that this happens. It's not a defect at all.
I think your dumbass is a defect. Next! You and Mrs. Doubtfire.
And as those funerals go on and you see more of those pictures of those kids in their communion dresses and in their baseball uniforms, every single time I want you all to think that 18-year-old didn't have to go out and get an assault weapon.
He sure in the hell didn't, but your 65-year-old ass sure in the hell need to go get a facelift. Next!
Congressman, the Republican messaging operation kicks in and throws out things like armed guards outside schools. Robb Elementary had one.
Bitch, no, they didn't. That was a lie.
So at this time, no. No. There was not an officer readily available armed. No.
Is your ass gonna get canceled for fake news? They didn't have no damn security guard that was in shootout with the damn suspect.
They throw out the kinds of things that haven't worked, that didn't work yesterday, that didn't save 19 third and fourth graders from losing their lives.
It sure in the fuck didn't, because they didn't have no security guard out there. It wasn't no security guard or police officer at the damn school to protect the damn school.
How do you, as Democrats, with 85 to 90% of the public behind your positions, not prevail, not just in the political arguments, but in the legislative process?
Well, they can't win in the legislative process that the damn security guard or the police officer at the school didn't work because it didn't happen. Next! You think guns just getting sold in America just now started?
And I don't care how many times the NRA says it. I'm about to leave office. There have been more guns sold since I've been president than just about any time in U.S. history.
Barack say he the king of selling guns. Barack Obama say 300 million served and counting.
There are enough guns for every man, woman, and child in this country.
And Barack Obama say he made damn sure of that.
I think this aspect of it.
You get your political agenda.
No, it's honestly,
God love you.
Senator, it's not. I just want to understand why you do not think that guns are the problem.
Ask Barack Obama. More guns were sold under Barack Obama administration than any administration ever, until the Joe Biden administration came. I wonder why is that?
Do you know that Congress will not allow the Center for Disease Control to study gun violence? They're not allowed to study it because the notion is that by studying it the same way we do with traffic accidents, somehow that's going to lead to everybody's guns being confiscated.
Yeah, because what in the fuck do the CDC got to do with guns? That's an easy cause right there. CDC, what is the cause of people dying from gun violence? Let's do our report. We came back with the report. Guns is the reason why people are dying from gun violence. To take away the guns, no more people dying from gun violence. Next!
We stopped listening to polls about what we think voters want to hear, and we tell them what is going to protect them.
You tell them. Why don't you ask them? You probably come up with a different answer.
And that's what frustrates me so much, about Democrats is that, we're constantly responding to polls rather than setting an agenda, a freedom agenda, that you should be free to make your own healthcare decisions as a woman, that your kids should be free in their classroom, that you should be free to vote without the fear of violence.
Well, it was just preliminaries all around the damn country, and I didn't hear near threat of violence or anybody getting assaulted trying to vote. There wasn't no white supremacists at the polling booths.
Is this just an American problem?
Well, it is just an American problem, sir.
Mr. Cruz, why is America the only country that faces this kind of mass shooting?
But you can't answer that. You can't answer that, can you, sir?
Why don't you ask them why is our country the only country that suffers from gang shootings also?
We should set the agenda by leaning in and telling voters what they deserve as Americans rather than responding and just chasing whatever the issue of the day is. That actually happens to work.
What, telling Americans what they deserve? No, I think actually that don't work.
But if your viewers are ready to give up, and I've seen so many text messages and emails and social media posts that it's time to walk away, why even show up and vote? I'm telling you, we have made progress.
We haven't, yeah, right. We haven't even made progress in finding Fang. How are we going to make progress in finding ghost guns?
And David Hogg, if you follow his threads today on Twitter, he is saying the same thing. We have come so far since Sandy Hook and Parkland. We have a gun safety majority in the House of Representatives. Everything that we need to protect Americans, we've passed in the House. We're now a few senators short.
You're also a few damn brain cells short if you think passing laws with extra senators to take away American guns is going to stop gang violence and shooting up schools and mass shootings. That's a damn fool's dream.
Can't answer that. Why is this country?
Why is it that people come from all over the world to America? Because it's the freest, most prosperous, safest country on earth.
I don't think all them immigrants that's coming over here by the millions is worried about no damn mass shooter. Next!
So the response should not be, I'm not going to show up, I'm not going to engage in November. The response should be, we're on the goal line. Let's make the push to get a gun safety majority in the United States Senate.
Hell no, we need an interception and a couple of fumbles to run that son of a bitch back. Because you sons of bitches cross the goal line, America, as we know it, is then over.
Elect Val Demings in Florida, for starters. That would go a long way. We can do this. We're almost there. I don't want anyone to give up because we need everyone to protect our kids.
Protect the kids? Yeah, right. Beth Roberts. If Democrats really wanted to protect the kids, they wouldn't be running around talking about all this pro-choice abortion at 9 months bullshit. Next! How in the hell is a baby murderer going to talk about how in the hell is a baby murderer going to talk about saving kids?
Why do you spend all this time running for the United States Senate? Why do you go through all the hassle of getting this job, of putting yourself in a position of authority?
From stopping you sons of bitches from turning this country into a socialist country or a third world country. That's why.
If your answer is that as this slaughter increases, as our kids run for their lives, we do nothing.
Look who's talking. Somebody that's okay with slaughtering kids before they are born inside the belly.
It may be the freest, it may be the most
Why
popular.
are our kids dying in school?
If that wasn't clear enough, the governor's earlier news conference struck the heart of this gulf in American society.
And Mr. I want to take away all your guns himself, Beto O'Rourke.
You're doing nothing.
No, you need to get his out of here. This isn't the place to talk this over.
This is totally predictable.
Sir, you're out of line. Sir, you're out of line.
The Republican leader of this state clashing with his Democratic rival.
The sick son of a bitch.
No common ground, no compromise.
Because Beto O'Rourke is a sick son of a bitch. Who in the hell goes and cause a commotion like that in front of the parents who just lost their kids?
Lieutenant Governor, you are responsible because you have all pushed this notion that we need more guns and more hands of more people who we know nothing about.
Hell, what about the people that's coming over here entering this country we know nothing about? They got guns.
And this is the predictable outcome. These shootings are preventable.
And so is immigrants killing American citizens. That is also preventable.
But they are also predictable. And the next one is going to happen as well if we do nothing.
That's what I'm talking about. Close the damn border and immigrants can't kill Americans. Next!
I just have to say respectfully that there is a way for us to have common sense gun laws. There is a way for us to make sure that lawful, responsible gun owners like yourself are able to use it for sporting, hunting, protecting yourself.
If only that was the case. The Democrats don't want you to protect yourself and don't want to protect you with the damn police.
But the only way we're going to do that is if we don't have a situation in which anything that is proposed is viewed as some tyrannical destruction of the Second Amendment.
Well, Joe Biden say there's no amendment that is absolute. So really, Joe Biden said the Second Amendment really don't count.
Because I'm going to tell you that what's going to happen. You can take the guns away from us all you want to. You all write a law, I follow the law, I'll bring my guns down here, I'll turn them in. But here's what's going to happen.
The criminals is not going to stop getting their guns by hook or by crook.
Dramatic increase in the reward for information about an Athens gun store burglary caught on camera.
Dramatic new video released of a gun store robbery in Houston. 10 thieves smashing their way inside, rushing out with their arms full of high-powered weapons.
Well, a group of thieves leave a trail of destruction behind in Pasco County. This is crazy. First, they crashed their truck here into a gun shop, and then they loot it, and then they finally ditched the truck.
4 hooded and masked suspects raid SK Arms in Flower Mound early Monday morning. One of them tips a display case, then stomps on the glass until it shatters.
Guns were stolen from a firearms store in New Whiteland over the weekend.
Yeah, police have already recovered at least one of those stolen guns in another city.
Police have announced the arrest of young teenagers charged with serious felonies, and we've chosen not to identify the teens because of their age. During today's news briefing, we learned 4 juveniles ranging in age from 13 to 16 are suspected of burglarizing a gun store on Blanding Boulevard.
It's clear to police that this business was targeted. That's because there is really no signage that indicates that it is a gun business, a resale business on guns. It's hidden away in a business park here in Garden Grove.
And I don't think them are ghost guns.
The Crips and the Bloods on the other side of town, they're not going to turn their guns in.
Hell no, they work too hard to get them.
As a thief drives this stolen Jeep through the side of the Athens Gun Club. According to Athens Clark County Police, it happened April 28th, just a little after 4:30 in the morning. Investigators say 4 more suspects then ran into the store and grabbed guns.
Surveillance video shows the moment thieves broke into Element Armament in New Whiteland and stole 33 guns.
With speed and precision that would impress the crew of Ocean's 11, this dangerous crew, call them the Houston 10, shows up at 4:30 a.m. Tuesday outside a Houston gun store, heads and faces covered.
2 of them armed robbed a Richardson gun store. It happened this afternoon.
But one of them did not get away from the scene.
They're going to hold on to it.
He says the group of masked men first acted like shoppers, then made it clear they came to rob the place. He pretended he was having heart trouble, buying him enough time to grab a gun and shoot one of those suspects.
And now that nigga got heart trouble. His heart don't work no more. Next!
And what's going to happen when you have to send the police down there to go take it?
They're gonna go take some more because it don't take niggas long to go get guns.
Within 1 minute, 19 seconds, using a chain and a pickup truck, tires squealing, to rip the doors off the hinges. From break-in to the last man out, 1 minute, 11 seconds, more than 50 weapons gone.
The smash and grab lasts less than 30 seconds, but the suspects take off with 15 firearms.
People think niggas in the hood just smash and grab Louis Vuitton bags and Gucci purses and Air Jordans. I think we really need to concentrate on them guns a little bit more than Gucci bags.
The police can barely enforce the law as it is.
Hell yeah, especially if you get arrested, your ass get right back out on no bail.
They mobilize inside. This thief jumps the counter, ignoring other guns, and goes straight for an assault rifle.
So he can shoot at more niggas on the corner at a more accurate rate.
As what I see, we demonize the police, criminalize and vilify the police, and we make the criminals into victims.
And make statues out of crackheads.
They escaped before police arrived, but police say one gun was recovered nearly 24 hours later when a Southport police officer tried to pull a car over early Sunday morning for running a stop sign.
Them guns are also sold across all parts of America.
And we're talking about restricting guns? How are you going to do that?
When niggas don't just use ghost guns, they also use stolen guns.
What it potentially means is you've got that many people now distributing firearms on the streets of Houston.
The ATF says the 21 firearms stolen in this burglary now pose a potential danger to citizens, communities, and quality of life.
And niggas like me in liberal cities. Next! Get them guns off the street. Then let's talk about the ghost guns.
How are you going to do that when the police department's already hamstrung?
They want to defund the police and have the police go after guns. What about the police going after niggas who shoot guns?
You're not going to be able to go down here and take these guns from these criminals.
Because they damn sure ain't going to give them up. They need them. Next! And the only guns the niggas on the street getting to shoot niggas with is not just ghost guns or stolen guns. They also get guns from the military.
The feds are accusing 3 Army soldiers of funneling guns to a notorious street gang in Chicago.
So the criminals are going to hold on to their guns. They're still going to have them.
The Justice Department unsealed a gun trafficking indictment today against 12 people, 3 of them soldiers.
They're still going to break in my house, and they're still going to shoot me with them.
The others, members of the Gangster Disciples gang.
And guess who's going to be the one that suffers? it's going to be me.
And if the Democrats keep on defunding the police, it's going to be niggas like me.
According to the indictments, the soldiers were stationed at Fort Campbell in Kentucky. The feds say they bought dozens of guns there and in Tennessee. Then they turned around and sold them to gang members in Chicago.
And you know what them gang members in Chicago went and did.
Well, I'm here to tell you tonight, it is not going to happen without a fight.
What Biden really wants to do is make it so you can no longer build your own gun for personal use.
And when I say fight, I don't mean shots fired. I don't mean fist thrown. I mean I'm going to come down here to this city council and raise hell just like these loonies from the left do until you listen to the majority of the people in this city.
But as I pointed out, the ability to build your own gun has always been legal.
I am the majority. The majority of the people in this city are law-abiding.
And the majority of people that own guns are law-abiding.
And they follow the law. And they want their constitutional right to be able to bear arms.
Before you give niggas the right to get out with no bail. Next! A ban on ghost guns is not going to change the killings that happen in the hood.
So in order to change that, Congress has to make it legal.
Wait a minute. In order to make ghost guns illegal, first you must make them legal? That do make perfect sense. How can you ban something that's not even legal?
He can't just decide to do it himself.
Well, the nigga said he was going to do it his damn self. Next! He said he don't care what the American citizens say they want.
They want to be able to go to the gun show and buy a hunting rifle or a sport rifle. There are no military-grade weapons sold at the gun show.
Well, they sure in the hell do military-grade guns that's sold on the street.
An unmistakable sound that slices through the silence. Rapid fire, multiple rounds let loose with a single squeeze of a trigger.
My grandmother squeezed triggers like that on Bloods every weekend. Next!
30 seconds, 30 bullets will be out.
Lowell's gang member John says that switch and firepower is caused by this, a device commonly known as a switch, the impact giving gangs an edge over the police.
And my baby mama monkey strength give her an edge over any human.
That's what's really causing the hectic right now. Everybody has switches and it's not regular gunfire anymore. It sounds like an automatic machine gun or something. A lot of innocent people are getting shot. Why? Because the switches are around now.
And a lot of Bloods are getting shot. Why? Because my grandmother is around town. Next! Joe Biden damn sure ain't gonna take away my grandmother guns.
So all he's doing now is creating a rule for dealers that requires them to put a serial number on a gun if someone sells them a gun they made on their own.
Wow. That's really gonna stop niggas from making ghost guns. You mean to tell me the only rule change is niggas selling guns to the gun shop is actually gotta change, but not niggas selling the gun parts on which actually make the guns gotta change? You mean to tell me a AR-15 assault rifle that a nigga made at home gotta have a serial number on it now so he can sell it to a gun shop?
An AR-15 is not a military-grade weapon. Anybody would go into combat with an AR-15 is a fool.
Well, Joe Biden say it is.
If you want to protect yourself, get a double-barrel shotgun, have the shells, a 12-gauge shotgun, and I promise you, as I told my wife, we live in an area that's wooded and somewhat secluded. I said, Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony here or walk out, put that double-barrel shotgun and fire 2 blasts outside the house. I promise you, who's ever coming in is not going to...
Remember, his goal is control, not safety. Criminals have been getting guns on the black market for eons.
And just because gun makers got to put a damn serial number on a gun to sell it to gun shop ain't gonna stop it. So Joe Biden not gonna stop ghost guns or niggas from buying the scary assault rifle AR-15.
It's a semi-automatic 22 rifle. You'd be killed in 15 minutes in combat with that thing.
But according to the Democrats, it's worse than a mini nuclear bomb.
So we need to dispel all these myths, and we need to drop all this division that we got going on here. Because the bottom line is, when that Second Amendment was written, whether the framers liked it or not, They wrote it for everybody.
Niggas included.
And I am everybody. And the law-abiding citizens of this city are everybody. And we want our rights, and we want to keep our rights. And by God, we're going to keep them.
And if we don't, you know what might happen.
Come hell or high water.
And that's how you walk off, not like Steve Kerr.
It's pathetic. I've had enough.
While all the people hating on the police talking about what they should and should not done, I'm just going to wait until the real report come out. I'm not going on no he say or off with the news say. I'm waiting on the final report because I don't think them police officers was scared. I think they was just smart. Who in the hell going to go into a building and you don't know what's on the other side of the door? He could have been waiting for an ambush. And I think he was. He already shot kids. You don't think he would have shot a damn cop? And the parents trying to go in the damn school, you don't think he would have shot a damn parent? But how can you be mad at the parents for trying to save their kids? If I was one of them parents, I would have been a dead son of a bitch too. Because I sure in the hell would have went up in that school to try to get my kids. But also, who in the hell can blame the police officers? Because they got kids too. And they not trying to die. I'm pretty sure they trying to go home to their kids too. You got all kind of different stories. They're trying to say the little boy was threatening a couple of years ago to shoot up the school on the very same date. You got people going in say they was saving their kids. The news report saying it was 19 officers inside the school had to shoot a trap for over an hour and a half before they killed him. They're saying the police didn't have the proper equipment to go inside the school. People want the police to go in and risk their life and get killed because that's part of their job. Well, hell, what good is they to the kids if they dead? You can't be mad at the parents and you can't be mad at the police. But I'm not going to do no stories on none of this until I know all the facts and see all the videos and hear all the evidence. I think this is more of a time to heal, and blaming people ain't going to solve anything. I personally don't think this is a time to blame. And it's funny how people are not talking about the suspect no more. They're now talking about what the police and the teachers should have done in gun control. But I'm not going to end this video on a sad note. I'm going to end this on a happy note. This is the Democrats' dumbass quotes about gun control and guns. Next!
In February, you introduced the Assault Weapons Ban and Law Enforcement Protection Act of 2007. It would regulate semi-automatic assault weapons, including weapons that have pistol grips, a forward grip, and something called a barrel shroud. Weapons with a barrel shroud would be regulated. What's a barrel shroud, and why should we regulate it?
And Tom, I wonder, should I get it for my hitman with your donations?
I think the more important thing is that it also would have had banned the large capacity clips that Colin Ferguson had used, and also the killer.
Okay. But I read the legislation. I'm sorry, I read the legislation and it said that it would regulate barrel shrouds. What's a barrel shroud, and why should we regulate that?
Tom, who sent me 2 donations. Hopefully they don't regulate it before you send me enough to buy one. Next!
The guns that were chosen back in those days were basically the guns that most gangs and criminals were using to kill our police officers. I'm not saying it was the best bill, but that was the best bill they could get out at that particular time.
How about you ask her, does she know what makeup is next?
I actually don't know what a barrel shot is.
Because it's in your legislation.
And evidently you don't know what a makeup kit is either, and it ain't in your bathroom. Next!
She wants to prevent terrorists from obtaining this rifle and is urging New York State lawmakers to pass the Anti-Terrorism and Aviation Protection Act, an act that the National Rifle Association will likely fight, claiming the right to bear arms.
What in the hell is that? A rocket launcher? Vanessa, if my grandmother had a gun like that, it wouldn't be no more Bloods in America. Next! They better not give my grandmother a damn gun like that, Vanessa.
Come on. This is crazy. You can't certainly use this for hunting. But some of these bullets, as you saw, have an incendiary device on the tip of it.
And what in the hell does an incendiary device do?
Which is a heat-seeking device.
With James Touche. Hopefully, if my hitman hit my baby mama with one, we'll have a cooked monkey.
So you don't shoot deer with a bullet that size. If you do, you could cook it at the same time.
Hunt humans? Bitch, where you think we at? In Afghanistan? Next! Next!
We have federal regulations and state laws that prohibit hunting ducks with more than 3 rounds, and yet it's legal to hunt humans.
Sergeant Moe, I don't think they should be hunting humans, but if they hunt monkeys, that's a different damn story.
I will tell you, these are ammunition. They're bullets. So the people who have those now, they're going to shoot them.
Well, bitch, I hope they don't eat them.
And so if you ban them in the future, the number of these high-capacity magazines is going to decrease dramatically over time because the bullets will have been shot and there won't be any more available.
Black Barbie, I see this bitch ain't got no more brain cells available. Next!
These new 3D printers, which can be purchased for about $1,000, allow guns to be made, perfectly functioning, firing guns without any metal.
They shouldn't let your ass get on stage without any damn brains. Next!
Isn't it pretty hard to define what is an assault weapon? Because it's so easy to write around for manufacturers to create weapons that...
Well, if it can fire a lot of bullets very quickly, that's a good place to start, okay?
My grandmother can fire a lot of bullets in a small amount of time. Is she an assault weapon?
Okay, let's pick it. Let's say 3. If you haven't hit the deer with 3 shots, you're a pretty lousy shot. That deer deserves to get away.
Well, my grandmother hit 3 bloods with 1 shot, and they didn't get away.
But that would ban most pistols. That would ban most...
No, but pistols are different. You have to pull the trigger each time.
What in the hell you gotta do with an assault rifle?
An assault weapon, you basically hold it, goes... Blah, blah, blah.
Boys, hit it.
Making my way downtown, 100 rounds, got the 4.5 and a tray pound.
Bloomberg, hit it.
Goes blah, blah, blah.
At a party today with my K, making my way through the crowd. That's the silence.
Your turn, Mike.
Goes blah, blah, blah.
The grenade launcher. I'm finna kill you. I'm finna drill you.
Goes blah, blah, blah.
And now you bleeding.
Goes blah, blah, blah.
If you go fall from my kind, I like walk-ups, I love drive-bys.
So do my grandmother.
Cause you know I will shoot you in your eyes just so I can hear the play.
Goes blah, blah, blah.
You have reached the tunes of Mike Bloomberg and the homies. Blah da 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 da.
Making my way through the hood, sipping this yak. Niggas about to get blown with the Mac. Cause I'ma do you wrong, get smoked like a ball, I shoot you.